Good morning. What's up, bitches? Oh, no, no, no. I accidentally went live on my normal Instagram instead of my bear Instagram. So we'll try again. What's up, bitches? Good morning. I am on the correct Instagram account now. I started live streaming for a few seconds on my personal Instagram. That was weird. So, see if any bears want to chat today. If not, I will ramble. I think I've got plenty of ramble about, possibly. At least we'll see. We'll see if anything comes to mind, at the very least, for me to ramble about. I've got some ideas, I suppose. But I'll wait to start rambling about anything specific. But it's really interesting. A couple days ago, I was reminded of these YouTube videos I saw way back when of, I think the YouTube channel was Conspiracy R Us, and he did a short series of how the Nephilim looked like clowns. And I remember seeing those titles like a year ago or close to it and being interested, maybe watching like 10, 20 minutes of one or two of them, and was thinking like, okay, yeah, there's probably something to this. I don't know what Nephilim are, but why is this happening? Why would you do this, Instagram? Why? That's so strange. Whatever. But just 2 days ago, yeah, I got reminded of that, and then yesterday I mentioned it to somebody that knew a fair bit about that whole thing, and this lady said that she also saw the titles of those videos, maybe checked on them a little bit a while ago, but at the very least she had more understanding of what the Nephilim were, saying how they are in part like more or less the fallen angels, kind of sorta. The I know they're kind of thought of as demons today because there's this it's like Genesis 6 that people always point to. That's the big one where it's talking about the Nephilim. In some translations it use the words Nephilim. In some translations it use the word giants. In other ones it probably uses something different, but it's about whatever, these things were. And the passage goes that they were here before the flood and they are present after. And that a lot of people take that as or they expand upon that and they say that the flood came because the Nephilim corrupted humanity, nephilized it or whatever. Nephilianism. That's an interesting word. I wonder if that's Nephilinism. Whatever. But that kind of makes sense to me because even before I was reminded of the Nephilim look like clowns discussion, I was thinking before that about Why did the flood happen? Why would God have chosen to, more or less wipe out humanity and start from scratch? I was thinking this and I didn't connect the dots between the Nephilim until just recently when I saw or saw a short today of about the Nephilim looking like clowns and that they were saying that the flood came to wipe out the Nephilim and the Nephilianism, uh, the humanity that has become Nephilized, if you want to use those words. I don't think those are real words, but whatever. And it's just that kind of, that put some pieces together for me because that makes a lot of sense. I was just thinking, like, why would God choose to wipe out humanity if that's his creation? Why? But if it had been completely corrupted by the fallen angels, the Nephilim, the demons, then that makes total sense why he would send the flood not just to wipe out humanity and his creation, but the reason he did that is because they were so corrupted by the fallen angels. And he wanted not just to wipe out the corrupted humanity, but also to get rid of the physical forms of these demons, the Nephilim. He wanted to get those off the face of the earth. But then it says in the Bible that they were there, they were present before and after the flood. So I was saying a little bit like people take that and they say that what we call demons today are what the Nephilim were. The Nephilim is when they had physical bodies and were able to walk amongst us and manipulate us and coerce us, and they had children with the women of men of the race of man. They had children with those women somehow, and then the offspring of the Nephilim and human women were these great men of old of superior strength, and they became the kings, and because they were half angel, half Nephilim type thing, fallen angels, and then they became the kings of old, but they were very corrupted too because they were Nephilic. And eventually the flood came to just flatten the curve, make it stop. It had to stop. It was just going. The corruption, the evil was too rampant because of the fallen angels. That makes sense to me. And so the whole story of Adam and Eve with the serpent, the snake in the garden, convincing Eve to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, however it goes. Lucifer is supposed to be the leader of the fallen angels. I do believe. He was held in high esteem by God, allegedly. And he went against God's plan and wanted to, create his own reality. So he was cast out from heaven, and he's Lucifer means the bringer of light or something, but he's also the prince of darkness. So that's kind of interesting. But if the snake in the garden with Adam and Eve, the snake was Lucifer, then it makes sense that from the beginning with Adam and Eve, that the fallen angels, Lucifer especially, the Nephilim, they were the ones that corrupted humanity or convinced the race of man to go against God's plan because Lucifer decided he didn't want to follow God's plan and wanted to create his own reality, which you can't do, but he decided he wanted to try because he was a gamma secret king, little bitch. So cast out from heaven along with a bunch of other angels, the fallen angels, and then they're trapped on earth. And of course, you know, the race of man was created to govern and rule over the earth. We are the judge and the jury here. And Nephilim don't like that, I'm sure. They want to have the power. They want to feel like they're in control here. And that's what they're trying to do and accomplish to this day. And Lucifer convincing Eve to go against God's wishes, God's plan, and eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, whatever it's called, something along those lines. He manipulated and coerced her into doing that. She made the choice, which we all do. That's one of the biggest lessons of that story is that we make the choice. Eve made the final choice to eat that apple, whatever fruit it was. And Adam made the choice to cuck and eat the apple as well, I believe. And then he blamed Eve, which is like more cuckery. What's up, Billington Bear? How goes it? I'm trying to tease through the topic that the Nephilim looked like clowns because I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems pretty interesting to me. And I got to this point where I'm, I guess, talking about it's going. Yeah, I hear you. I hope it's going fairly well, or maybe just going. If it's just going, that's enough. That's enough. Some days it's like that, and that's good because if you can just keep going, you know, you'll be much more grateful for the days that really feel like they're going wonderful. And you'll just be so happy when you get to that point, which you will. So if it's just going, that's okay. But I hope you're doing well. I got to this point where I'm, if the snake, the serpent in the Garden of Eden was Lucifer, allegedly. I do believe that's a story. He's kind of the exactly, going is better than stopping. Just keep going. As long as you're going, that's great because there's no, good rarely comes from when you stop. When hard times come and you just stop, people get stuck there. It's like you're going, you're going, you're going, and then you stop. because some big brick wall, some very rigid something is in your way. Some idea, some event, and you stop, and it's like quicksand, or this really thick gelatinous mud where you kind of just sink into it. Well, if you find yourself in a hole, first thing you do is stop digging down anyway. Yes, I like how you put that. No, I really do like that because I've been in a place where I was legitimately at rock bottom in my life less than a year ago. And I mean, a year up till less than a year ago. And it's so funny because I remember this image in my mind and it stuck with me. And it was there for a while because I wasn't trying to climb up at all. This image in my mind where I knew I was at rock bottom and I knew what I was doing wasn't helping me at all. So the image in my mind was me just in this like massive hole with a pickaxe swinging away at the bedrock, like at rock bottom, just swinging away, knowing damn well that I'm not going to get anywhere, that there's nowhere else to go with what I'm doing, just swinging away at rock bottom. And I remember having that image in my mind. I saw myself just swinging away as I'm like going through my day, doing my patterns of behavior that were just, keeping me at rock bottom. I saw it. I was like, and it didn't stop me initially. It definitely did it. Of course, it caused some thinking, cause for concern when you realize like that you're at rock bottom and you're just swinging away. You'd hope that makes you think a little bit, which it did, but I didn't start climbing. I just kept swinging away. Sometimes what seems like rock bottom is only a false bottom. Can always get deeper. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I yeah, I mean, that's fair to say because even the rock bottom I was at, sure enough, I could have gone way deeper. Way deeper. But, for myself, it was like, yeah, how can you're always in your mind thinking like, "Oh, it could never get worse." And then it does. But yeah, you're right. It usually is a false bottom because that's just how we perceive it. What's up, spirit of a Ronin? You know anything about the Nephilim looking like clowns? Because that's what I'm thinking about this morning. And I don't have a lot of knowledge behind it, but it's very interesting to me. So I wanna figure it out. So Nephilim, fallen angels, giants, yada yada. Adam and Eve made the choice to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. They had big feet. Maybe that's where. No, no. I saw a video of that this morning. It was a little short. What's the channel? Understanding Conspiracy. Some bear recommended it on Instagram, I believe. He posted it and said like, "This guy is getting it." I think it was Berserker Bear who posted that and recommended checking him out. And I saw a short from Conspiracy or Understanding Conspiracy today saying that the big feet that clowns have and the big gloves, those are kind of there to as well as like clowns typically for a long time would be on stilts. Like those three things are very telling that the Nephilim, who the clowns are imitating, were giants. Giant feet, giant hands, very tall because you're on stilts. Like, it's not that the Nephilim look like clowns, it's that the clowns are trying to emulate and look like Nephilim, allegedly. Um, and allegedly they had this like iridescent scale-like skin that was really colorful, and that's why clowns are dressed in all these colors. And the black and white is allegedly how they are trapped in this realm, or like in this binary, something about that I remember. I forget. But if the Nephilim are fallen angels, then it makes sense that Lucifer would be kind of the leader or king of the Nephilim, from what I'm getting, picking up. Maybe that's way off base. I don't know. But I made that thought happen because was thinking how, you know, I was talking about the flood, about how the Nephilim were here before and after the flood, the Bible says, and how the flood seemed to have happened. Killer clowns from outer space. Fallen angels, yes. Killer clowns from outer space. I love it. I do. But it made a lot of sense to me when those dots were connected in my mind that the flood happened not because of humanity's inherent nature just going off course, but it was because they were deceived and manipulated and nephilized, if you want to use a made up word. The Nephilim coerced them and corrupted them and just really made everything shit. And God saw his creation and was like, well, these bitches really fucked shit up. So I'm going to send this flood, take out all those bitches, take out all of corrupted, like the race of man, just take them out because, hey, they're too far gone. Like they've been nephilized, whatever. So, yep, just big reset. But Noah, you're cool. You're not fucking with your body. You're not, like allegedly they were doing like pretty much transhumanism to an extent where they're kind of changing your genetics and doing all this really bad stuff back then, like the Nephilim and the nephilized people. But Noah allegedly was a pure human being. God's like, bitches ain't shit, but yeah. He likely thought that. Just kidding. Yeah, allegedly Noah was a pureblood, more or less, where he didn't fuck with his genetics. Like him and his family, he kept them pure, not nephilized. And God was like, okay, it's up to you. I'm gonna give you the reins, build a fucking ark because I'm gonna take them out. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Like we're taking them out, and it's up to you to like make the new world order after this great reset. So, Noah built that ark. He survived, and the race of man was, it had a nice reset. It was probably better for a while right after that. But paraplegic coffee. Oh, the cripples here. Welcome. Welcome. Do you know anything about Nephilim? Oh, yeah, but even with the race of man probably being a little bit more moral and based and natural after the great flood with just, Noah's family and the people he saved, if there were any people, the reproduction from Noah, I bet it was good for a while, but as it says in the Bible, the Nephilim were here before and after the flood. It's possible that it's Nephilim are fallen angels, right? Right. I've mentioned that, and today, demons are the non-physical embodiment of Nephilim. 33 of them tied themselves to Noah's Ark and clearly reformulated the earth. I buy it because it's definitely repopulated. Yeah. You have a hard time typing, don't you? Crippled hands. I joke. So if the Nephilim were here before and after, I think most of them died in the flood and their spirits are trapped here, and that is what we call demons today. But I think it's likely that some of them survived in their physical form. Whether they got to a really high mountain. The Roman culture had their form and the Norse had their, and they were fallen. AKA Greek mythology. Yes. Yes, all the pantheons. That was their Nephilim. Same with the Egyptians. Yes. All the pantheons, like, yeah, Horus, Thoth, I don't know, all those quote unquote gods of ancient times. And sure, I guarantee you that, just as how it happens today, where mixed in with good info that they give you is just, you cannot, based on, the truth is based on reality, of course, but, or other way around, same thing. They go, lies are based off the truth. Maybe it's further down the road of corrupted behavior. They have exactly this. They have to get you to do it yourself. Find what's real and subvert it into different religions and have everyone fighting over the same God. Yeah, yeah. But they have to get it to do it. They have to get you to do it yourself. It goes all the way back to Adam and Eve, serpent in the garden. If that was Lucifer, allegedly, I think that's the story. But hey, he didn't do it. He convinced Eve to do it, and she chose to eat of the tree. It was her choice. And then Adam came along and ate too, I believe. Thought I heard my sister out there or something. Nope. Okay. It's all your choice. It goes all the way back. So, of course, the Nephilim convinced these people to. The way they convinced them, I'm sure, was with partial truths. They had good information, I'm sure, because that's the only way the evil gets you to bite and take their offer is if the lies they give you are based on truth. Eve was tricked and Adam chose to eat. Yes, Eve was tricked, but she did still choose because, of course, Lucifer is smart. He goes after the unsuspecting and naive woman, which is what women tend to be more than men. Like, of course he goes after her first, because if he can get his way in with the woman, then Adam will come along and be like, "Oh, my woman is doing this. Well, like if you can corrupt and subvert the woman in the relationship, then it makes it a lot harder for the man to lead, because that's when the women become subverted, they don't want to listen as much. They don't want to follow because they think they know better, and they want to put up a fight with everything you say, because they want equal equal everything, equal power, equal. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Haha. I don't get it. You are the weakest link. Old game show tagline. Interesting. I'm too young, I guess. Never heard it. So, all that to say, I think the way the Nephilim Nephilized humanity was through lies based on truth. Eve was caught slipping, and then Adam cucked, right? Like, Adam was a cuck. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. That's kind of what, because especially like, yeah, Eve was caught slipping. She did make the choice, but of course she was more naive. Yeah, I probably am too young. But Adam comes along and is like, "Oh, well, Eve's doing it. I know God said like we really shouldn't do that, but Eve's doing it, and she seems fine. So, I kind of want to do it too." So then he ate as well, made that choice. And then I believe the story goes that when God came to the garden and was asking him like, "Hey, what's going on here? What you doing? Um, why are you wearing clothes? Why?" I feel like there was something about that. I believe the story goes that Adam cucked even further and blamed it on Eve. I think there's something about that, which is, yes, very, very much bitch behavior. And that's why you don't need to be a woman to be a bitch. You don't need to be black to be a nigger. I hear somebody outside. They probably hear me saying nigger. That's okay. Yes, all men are fallible. And I mean, it really makes you think, because God allows everything that goes on here. He makes the choice to allow everything. It's ultimately up to him, and he allows it. So he allows for Lucifer and the Nephilim to be here and to have the ability to corrupt humanity. He allowed the serpent to be in the garden and attempt to coerce and manipulate Adam and Eve. He allowed that. He allows everything still. So it really has got to make you think, like, with Adam and Eve, he probably knew. Yes, he gave us free will. We are the only ones with free will. The angels didn't have free will. Lucifer really wanted it, and I'm kind of a little bit confused on that topic because maybe he did have free will, considering that he chose to go against God's plan and wanted to create his own reality and was cast out from heaven, right? Like, and then what about all the other fallen angels? Like, I thought the angels weren't supposed to have free will, but if the angels chose to follow Lucifer and they all got cast out of heaven, doesn't that mean that they did have free will to some extent? So I'm a little bit confused on that topic there, but humans, 100%, we got free will. And what was I saying? Yeah, God allowed Lucifer to be there. From legions to leagues, as in leagues of legend. What? League of Legends? Are you gaming, Spirit of Ronan? He is a slave to his hatred of God. Still no free will, you say. But, okay. Okay. Then what happened initially when he chose to go against God? Or did he not choose to do it, but was that his leagues of hell? Legions of hell to leagues of hell. Or legions of heaven? Yeah, legions of angels to leagues of hell. I see. But was it their choice? Did those angels have free will to some extent where they could choose to accept God's plan or go against it and attempt to create their own reality? That's what they were trying to do. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. They were trying to create their own reality. They didn't want to accept reality. They didn't want to accept God's plan. Lucifer is the archetype of that. He did not want to accept reality, and he wanted it to create his own. He said, I can do this better. But you can't. You can't. You can't create your own reality. And everyone you attempt to create is going to just dig you a hole so deep that it's going to be extremely difficult to climb out of. But yeah, this whole thing with free will and angels, I gotta do some thinking or looking up about that. Because how else? I mean, also, I don't have a lot of knowledge about whether the angels did have free will or not. I remember Owen saying something a while back about how the angels allegedly didn't have free will and that they don't, and that they're more like AI and robotic. Well, this is the thing, Ronan. Little r reality you can create. Capital R reality, never. It is what it is. You cannot change it. You cannot create a new one. It is created by God. You can create as many lowercase r realities that you want forever and ever, but they will never be capital R reality. They will never be, as you said, as great as what God will give you. Manifestation and the law of attraction. They quit their jobs and got kicked out. The consequences of choice. They quit their jobs and got kicked out. Yes, they did, which means they have free will. Does that mean all angels have free will? Yeah, you get me. You're getting it. Yeah, yeah. Yes, because of course we are the little case C creators in this world. Everything is subject to natural law. Yes, everything is subject to capital R reality. Natural law is an inherent part of capital R reality. There is the creator with a capital C who created us and made us lowercase c creators, which means we can create lowercase r realities, which we shouldn't because there's already a capital R reality, and whatever we create is never going to be as good as that. What we should do is try and create things based on what's already given to us, based on reality, based on capital T truth, based on capital L love. It's all here for us. It's all been given to us. All we have to do is accept God's plan and do our best to create based on that foundation. It's all given to us. It is abundant. There is no scarcity. It's all here. All we have to do is accept. Not accept the offers of the fallen angels, not accept their manipulative behavior and corruptive, nephilized, cuckery, bitch, secret king gamma delusions, but accept reality. Accept God's plan. Build off of truth, love, and reality in everything that you do. And that will bring more good, true, and beautiful into this world. Earth, realm, whatever. We get it. We all get it. The angels didn't have free will. It came at a huge cost. He allowed their will for a fee, kicked out of heaven. But doesn't the same thing happen to us? Like you said, consequences of your choice. We do have free will, and when we choose to quit our jobs, bad things happen. We get kicked out, and we don't get to make a living anymore. And then, hey, we get kicked out of our homes because we can't pay for it. So, if the angels didn't have free will, I get that. I get he allowed their will for a fee. So, but isn't that the same as saying that he allows us to have free will? He allows us to make our own choices, to either accept his plan or go against it. Isn't that the same as what the angels did? That either accepted his plan or quit their jobs and got kicked out. God allows it. God allows everything. He gave us free will and he allows us to use it. He allowed the angels to quit their jobs if they wanted to. Unless we go with the idea that God just chose some select angels to, maybe they weren't doing their job so great. Maybe he was like, okay, you in the back, yes, I'm kicking you out. You're fired. You go down to earth and you never get to come back. Allows within the natural law, God's law. I get what you're saying to an extent. I'm not sure what you're referring to though. So yeah, maybe God just kicked out a certain number of angels because they weren't doing such a great job, and was like, okay, yep, you know what? Go do your thing on earth. Um, you know, my creation is there, and they have dominion over the earth. They are the judge and jury there. I'm allowing it all to happen. And hey, I'm going to send you guys there to, do what you do. Fuck with them. Do whatever you want. Try and corrupt them, which you probably will. But hey, that's okay. Everything is as it should be. Everything happens for a reason, and it's all according to plan. So, yeah, get out. I don't want you here. You are hurting my eyes. And I will let the race of man deal with you, because he must have known that we can get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. He must have known that to some extent the race of man can handle them. People like to say that this is all a test, that we're, here to learn, and we're here to be tested, and that all of life is some sort of test. And if that's true to some extent, then allowing the fall, or kicking the angels out, allowing them to come down to earth and mess with the race of man, that would just be part of the test, to test our strength. Do we have the strength to choose what is good from what is easy? Can we develop a level of discernment to see what is true from what is false and deceitful? Can we have love for all things and all souls, and not feel this visceral hatred and give in to it? Because, hey, I guarantee you, when those angels got kicked out, they had hatred. I guarantee you, they had hatred in their heart. They did not enjoy what God was doing to them. God favors those who follow the laws. The fallen are not in his favor. Yes, no, absolutely. They're not in his favor. He doesn't like him. He's like, bitches, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What's up, Maxed Out Bear? He kicked him out because he's like, you ain't shit. I got all these bros over here that are, doing my bidding and really doing good work. Like Michael over here. Yeah, he's crushing. But, you guys, I'm disappointed. Get out of here. So, of course, they're going to have hatred in their hearts. Like the hatred that we talk about today, where it's like this passion and emotion of just pure, what is written? Gimme. Come on. Don't hold out, Ronan. Give me the deets. Come on. They had hatred in their hearts. Noah, he got the heads up, definitely in God's favor. Exactly. It is, yes, the laws and will of God is written. Okay, yes, I understand. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier too. Noah did not become Nephilized. His family did not. Him and his family were purebloods. in the sense that they did not fuck with their genetics like the rest of the race of man was because of the Nephilim's corruption. They were all fucking with their genetics and becoming something closer to transhumanism, you know, altering their bodies, altering their genetics, everything. But Noah was like, no, this ain't it. God doesn't want us to do this. So he kept himself and his family pure, allegedly. And then God was like, you build the fucking ark because I'm wiping them out. I encounter that hatred of even the concept of God in a lot of people now, and I recognize it so much faster and clearer now than years ago. It's interesting, even their word choices re various topics. Reveal? Revarious? Like a very clear, low-key, but very pervasive resentment for the notion of a creator. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. You know, if you mention, yeah, okay, that's what I figured. RE regarding. It's everywhere with large majority of people. I mean, I don't want to say that because I want to have hope that there's actually a good majority of people that do know that there's a creator and accept God's plan. I want to believe that there's a lot of people, but I can't help but think that a large majority of people don't see it that way anymore. Yes, saints are little winks from God, more or less. But I think that's pretty accurate. And I really like to see it that way because, you know, it's just a little like, it's a little wink. It's a little like thumbs up where it's like, you're on the right path. Or like, yeah, you're thinking good thoughts. You know, hey, have this treat. This is what you've been looking for. But similarly, I encounter and interact with people more intensely now in the context of shared view of a creator, shared skepticism of bullshit, etc. There is this polarization happening. The poles are splitting, and where the feelings are becoming more intense. Only with eyes to see and ears to hear. Yep. Absolutely. What's up, Photo Bear? The people that have denied God's plan and don't know there's a creator are only descending further and further. And the people that accept God's plan, know there's a creator, they are ascending. They are understanding, and their faith and knowledge of God is growing stronger and stronger. And that's when like these poles are pulling apart. You know how they'd say in the Kali Yuga, the bad get worse and the good get better. I really feel like everyone is being amplified, whatever they are. Yes. It's happening right now. We're in a big. I mean, I guess it's been happening for a long time, but it seems like now more than ever that this polarization is happening. All these fence sitters that have been just chilling for years, it's becoming much more difficult to sit in the middle. It's really hard to not pick a side. And I don't think it's good to not pick a side. You know, it would be really good if you pick the good side, God's side. But just the same, if you pick the bad side. Hey, at least you picked a side. And it's not that once you go to one side, you can't go back to the other. So I think for all those fence sitters out there, it might help them to pick the wrong side initially because that could possibly lead them back in the right direction. Because if you take a step and it's towards the bad side, and then you're able to discern the truth from what's false and deceitful, you see where people are going wrong here, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm going to go over this way now. And then once you go that way, you're not sitting on the fence anymore. You went to one side, you're like, oh, that's not where I want to go. So you start heading back, then you try the other side and you're like, oh, they're getting it. Wow. Okay, let me, this is good. And then hopefully, eventually, you commit and you accept God's plan. There was a game called Fable when I was a kid. The more good you did, you would become holy. The more bad you did, you grew horns. Yes, you get a little halo or you get horns. Dude, Fable 2 was my favorite game. I played the shit out of that game. That was really good. I played Fable Anniversary too. Like the Fable Anniversary. The first one. And that was a, really good game too. Fable 1 and Fable 2 were really good games. So, all those, a lot of the older stuff has all this knowledge and understanding imbued in it. And it penetrates our subconscious. And it's good to an extent. But then again, the whole polarity and division between there only being good and evil is it's not accurate in my opinion. There is a balance. And I'm not saying a balance where you're sitting on the fence and you're not choosing one or the other. But, you never played them, Billington Bear? What are you doing with your life? They were such good games. That was such an OG RPG game. It was based. God, you're making me want to play video games again. I was just talking yesterday to this lovely lady friend I have about how I want to play zombies together because somehow we mentioned video games and we mentioned zombies and I was like, zombies, yes. Oh, because we were making these weird noises and we were like, sail, the zombie noises. Fucking crushing is what I'm doing. Yeah, that's right. I hear you. And in my mind, that's what I'm doing too. Because I feel a little bit bad that recently I haven't been able to catch any of Owen's live streams. And I'm at over a few episodes behind. And I feel a little bad. But at the same time, I'm just fucking crushing in my life right now. And when that happens, it's yes, I know Owen's there. I know how much he's done for me, and I am extremely grateful. But I'm just too busy crushing right now. I'll definitely listen when I can. But life's just going great, and I have no time to listen to a podcast. I'm well beyond crushing. My work never ends on the 3 acre. I'm a damn superhuman. Attaboy. I saw blips of a couple of your posts the other day. I wasn't really on Instagram, but I saw I was trying to load one of your videos you posted. It didn't load, but I saw like pictures of um like the concrete blocks and you were putting them in squares. Like were you making raised garden beds with that or what was it? But yeah, I haven't had a console or PC in over 2 years. Yeah, I haven't played video games pretty much since I think it was February, I believe. I haven't played since then. And even then I was like I was phasing it out. I had barely played it all and then I just played one last time. I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. This ain't it. I haven't been on Owen's streams in a fatty, but I do intend on hoping to catch his next. Yeah, I only catch his late Instagram streams from time to time. Can't watch his day streams because I'm always working when he's on. But yes, garden beds from reclaimed foundation cinder blocks. Yeah, that is a solid use of those blocks, especially if they're reclaimed and hopefully you got them for free or very small amounts of money. Either way, that's a great use for them. Until I saw those pictures and saw what I thought you were doing, I never thought about using those cinder blocks for a raised garden bed. I was like, wow, that's a great idea. Why would you not use those? Like, especially if you can just get them for free. Like, why spend $100 on lumber just to create a few garden beds when you can just use cinder blocks? Very nice. Very nice. You're crushing. We get it. Yeah, I haven't even been able to catch his Instagram streams either. I used to catch like every one, but reclaimed 2x6x12s from an old roof structure. Yeah, that's all about community, just knowing people and cleaned up an old lady's property to get them. Yes, exactly. Just knowing people, helping people, and then you just get free stuff sometimes. I need some cinder blocks. I want to put in a root cellar in a hill we have here. Ooh, yeah. Are you gonna hand dig it? Because that sounds fun. Sounds really fun. I love digging holes. Yes, do it. Do it. Get some cinder blocks, get a shovel, and just do it. Start digging. It'll be a great workout, and you'll have fun doing it. And you can listen to some of Owen's streams while you're digging. And in the end, you'll have a nice root cellar. So yeah, just do it. Do you guys know anything about natural building, as in with like straw bales and clay plaster stuff to build houses, and like structures? Like it's similar to cob houses and adobe, but it's you can live in them year round and they're very well insulated. I'd rather not hand dig it because I'll probably be doing the concrete by hand. Would help if the hole is already there. Want to use a skid steer or tractor. How to make a straw roof. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty nice. That sounds good for like a summer structure maybe. But yeah, I mean, I really want to learn and get into this natural building stuff because one, I believe it's cheaper and more readily accessible than lumber because you're just using the materials you have near you, like in the earth, in the fields. I've seen how they do that. Packed earth inside of tires works too. Yeah, there's so much stuff you can do to build houses. Like everybody's just using concrete and wood. It's very sustainable. They last for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. It's amazing. Like cob houses especially will last forever. And these natural homes, like the walls don't burn down. You can't burn them down. Always going to be readily available, especially if you grow it. So you use the clay that's in the soil, And where I'm at right now, it's a very clay abundant soil. Like it's packed with clay everywhere. So you use the clay that's in the soil. You use compact straw bales that I feel like there's some process to do something to them to make them, good building material. I'm guessing it's not just a normal square bale that you feed to your animals. I'm guessing that you do something to it before that. Yeah, you can sand too though. Sand, you just the whole thing about natural building, I believe that's what it's called, is just using the materials near where you live, whatever is abundant near you. Sand is one of those things. You can build structures with sand, and cob doesn't work so well in northern climates. Exactly. It's cob and adobe are for southern climates where it's warm almost all year round. They don't have good insulation at all. Build a glass house, eh? But with natural building, with straw bales and clay and plaster, it's amazing insulation. It keeps everything in and everything out. It blocks radiation even too. Like the herbalist I work for, he lives in a house right now that is built like that. Like this dude before him, not him, but this other dude built 2 houses up on a hill where he lives that are natural home builds. Like the roof and the support beams or everything, they're made with wood. But the walls, the floor, everything else is made with the straw bale and the clay and the plaster and whatever else you use. Yeah, I'm north. We are right outside of the Great Lakes, mid Michigan here, and I am in southwest Wisconsin. So we're all Midwest, more or less. And, we got to deal with some cold times. So you can't build a cob house, even though they're pretty fucking awesome. Can't build adobe, which is pretty much the same as cob. So you need to use different materials that are still abundant right where you're at. Buchanan, Buchanan. Just do it. I can't wait. I've always wanted to build my own house. Like I see that in my future as like an accomplishment or a goal that I really want to accomplish. And building it as naturally as possible with the materials near me feels just I just think that is as perfect as can be. Like that is what I want to do. I don't want to cut down hundreds of trees to build a log cabin. I used to think that would be great, like sounds super fun. And sure, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll build a log cabin at some point too. But building a home with the materials that are around you without chopping down trees, that seems so ideal. Great insulation. They block radiation. I don't know what could be better. I can't wait to do it. I really can't. It sounds so fun. So I'm going to get some fucking land. I'm going to build a house. Don't know when it's going to happen. But that's the plan. And hey, I've got family nearby. I'm going to move them with me because, they need some. I'm going to get that land. I'm going to do it. I've been, I don't know why, but I've been putting off a little bit getting in connection with a couple people I know I need to talk to that about land. I'd be happy with a hole next to my root cellar. Absolutely. A hobbit hole would be great. My sister has always wanted to live in a hobbit home. They just seem so fun, nice. But yeah, I have a couple people I know I need to talk to because I have land and it's in the location I want to live. And all I can do is ask and bring it up, and then it's up to them. They can think about it, they can mull it over, whatever. But I don't I need to stop putting that off and really, reaching out to my connections and just ask. See what they say. It can't really hurt because then you know whether it's an option or not. Either way, I'm going to get that fucking land. And hey, I've got a lady friend and it's it's going pretty well. And it's good. It's a possibility. It's a good possibility that there's a real future there. And you know, I'd love to get some land and then take her to my land and be like, "Hey, you wanna build a home here? You wanna like get some chickens, maybe a couple. You wanna like, you know, grow food, have a nice big garden, grow some biodynamic tobacco." That's the plan. And God willing, it'll happen because I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. I know that. And I know it's not up to me in the end. It's up to God. Whatever He wills will be the law of the land and will be what happens. And whatever happens, I will accept because it's God's plan. And everything is as it should be. And with that said, I'm going to be on my way. It's good talking to you guys today. I hope you have a fruitful day and it is filled with joy and wonder. And I hope you all keep crushing. So, signing off. Peace out, bitches. How do I do this? Yes.